Alright, looks like our runners are off. Successfully skipping the tutorial boss. And Cab is headed to Tundra Man. As is VenezPrince. Okay, both of them are going to be taking the easier route. Now I say easier, and this game really isn't that much easier whenever you try and like, if you're gonna make your life a little bit easier, this is about as much help you'll get. Alright, so a little bit about this game. If you're not familiar with what is specifically different in this Mega Man game, you'll be seeing them using a couple of different gears every now and then. They have a speed gear and a power gear, which will alter their gameplay ever so. Speed gear will kind of make the world slow down around them, and the power gear will it'll make you fire rapid fire busters, but it'll also enhance your weapons once you start getting them. It also enhances your charge shot. They're starting out with Rush Coil, and Rush is not super important to manage well in this stage, but it will definitely become a factor later on. In fact, weapon energy management is extremely important throughout the entire run-up. I see Mr. Cab grabbing those big bolts. Bolts are used in the shop, so I'm assuming he's going to be stopping by there later, probably to pick up some W tanks, maybe even energy tank. And you can see him using the speed gear to take out Mammoth Steel. VenezPrince will likely be doing the same. It leaves his face exposed for longer. This is one of the neat, quirky little effects of the speed gear there. Nice job, Cab, taking out that Crunch Stomp. Runners do have access to a rapid fire buster button, so unlike previous Mega Man games where you would have to mash your lemons every single time, you can actually assign a button for that. It's really, really useful. It's not something like a cop-out. It's not like, you know, a rapid fire controller or something like that. It's literally just a button you assign while playing the game. Coming up on this last hallway is super scary. They have to make a bunch of pretty tight jumps. Like, this is just straight up how the game is designed, essentially. Cab kind of cheating on that first jump using Rush Coil. I don't blame him. Making these last jumps, though, very good stuff. VenezPrince as well, coming up on this last section. He's waiting for the wind. Nice job. So for Tundra Man, he's going to actually... Oh no! VenezPrince fell down. Cab is going to be using Double Buster to try and take out Tundra Man before he actually does his... he's going to let it get off. He should be able... Yep, okay. Basically, same as Mega Man has Speed Gear and a Power Gear, bosses also have that implemented. So you want to try and avoid the boss using that because it also grants them invincibility for a little while. VenezPrince, that's a huge trek back. That's like a 45 to 50 second time loss there. That's going to be super costly, but anything can happen. Interesting. Cab buying the energy balancer? And a weapon tank. Or two. Yo, the weekend bonus, though. Weekend strats actually lower the price a little bit of things in the shop. Alright, good luck, VenezPrince. Come on. Meanwhile, Mr. Cab picked up Tundra Man's weapon. The Arctic Blast is a pillar of frost. It hits directly above and below Mega Man. Good job, Ben. It's a pretty nice weapon on its own, but like I said before, you can enhance your weapons using the power. So turning on Power Gear and then firing the Arctic Blast will actually make it a screen-wide nuke. Nice timing, actually. I've not seen a lot of runners doing... Well, I've not personally watched a lot of runners doing Tundra first, so I don't know where they're going to be using it in this stage, but I know that although it's a little bit slower to stand in place and use Tundra's weapon, it does make a lot of screens a lot faster and easier after the fact. Like, you lose a little bit of time initially, but who can complain about getting to just jump through these rooms without any problems? So VenezPrince successfully defeating Tundra Man now gets to join Cab in Impact, and the reason why they're going to Impact next is because this is normally the fastest, the more optimal stage order. want to go to impact because it gives you the weapon that actually allows you to go. MrCab coming up on the mini boss, Pikmin Digger. It's going to involve a little bit of damage boosting and a lot of rapid fire buster plus well-timed jump. Very good jumps, nice. He got it in 8 jumps. Very well-timed jumps. And this room is a long auto-scroller, but thankfully there is a way to get through it with lots of damage boosting. Well, you damage boost, you jump through some spikes. Ooh, he missed with the rush call. That's not bad. He did manage to skip a good chunk of it. That's not the fastest way to do it, but that's still a very nice way to do it, honestly. A thing to note about using other weapons and their ammo consumption. When you use power gear, you actually use a lot more ammo, especially in the case of Tundra. So it's not something that you can literally get away with just using it on every screen. You have to pick and choose your moments. So now Cab coming up against Impact Man. Impact Man, using Tundra is okay against him, but more specifically, Impact Man has a 20-second invincibility transformation with power gear. So Cab's really going to want to make sure he times his double buster shots so that he skips that. Unless, I have actually no idea what he's going to do. Oh, he missed. I wonder if that would have killed. A little hard to see his health. But yeah, this is the power gear phase of Impact. Sorry about that, my microphone got briefly disconnected. He did manage to take care of Impact Man. Ooh, that's a very aggressive intro to Torchman stage. Alright, it would be nice to see how VenezPrince handles Impact Man, but while we're in Torchman stage, we did manage to pick up the impact weapon, so you've already seen whenever you fire an impact, you actually go flying through the air, and then a power impact just goes a little bit further and costs a little bit more ammo. VenezPrince will have to watch the 20-second transformation phase. Cab coming up against the mini-boss. The mini-boss actually, there's a neat little quick kill you can do with him. Essentially, by using the Tundra and then slide jumping afterwards, you remove the cooldown of it. You normally wouldn't be able to fire it that. But by doing slide jumps out of the use of Tundra, you actually get to fire it again. And I certainly didn't know while playing casually that you could freeze the wall of fire with use of Tundra. Alright, Cab blowing one of his weapon tanks so that he can use more impacts. And this whole section is pretty scary without using that many impacts, so it does make it a lot easier. He picked up that weapon, that big weapon drop, while still in blue state, which means, oh wait, right, he has the energy balancer, so that actually does make life a little bit easier for him. That's something I'm really not used to seeing.
Let the combat commence.
So Torchman's a pretty easy fight, just using 4 Tundras on him. Oh, he got the jump kick. That's a little bit of a bummer, but he's still gonna handle him. Okay, VenezPrince making his way to the second fire chase. He's if I were him, I would have Tundra equipped at least at some points throughout this, just in case that firewall gets close. But I guess he's confident. He's doing pretty good. Makes it out just. And now Cab is heading towards his 4th stage, Blastman stage. With the torch weapon being Blastman's weakness, it's also useful for getting rid of these giant TNT crates. So if he doesn't happen to knock one of these kamikaze guys back into a TNT crate, he can use torch to blow it up and get out of the way. Ooh, he just was a little bit short of hitting that that top crate with the torch. Nice mini-boss quick kill. Power Tundra into regular Tundra. VenezPrince taking care of Torchman. One more? Okay, good stuff. So now Cab coming up on the second, or the latter half, really, of... oh, and he's out of ammo. Okay, yeah, a nice Tundra will... Fun fact, this is actually the screen where you could get out of bounds if if you have the game, you want to try it along at home, use a whole bunch of impacts and then a rush coil. You'll actually end up in this room by spamming so much of it off screen. This tourney does not have a cash prize. It's all for fun and prestige, maybe bragging. Alright, I'm interested to see in how Blastman is dispatched here, because there's so many ways you can do all of these. Using torch, power torch, and trying probably for a double buster? I think he gave up on it because he took damage. One more should take care of him. Oh, but there's the power gear. Okay. Alright, VenezPrince approaching the mid-ball. And with Cab having taken care of 4 of the stages, he now has Rush. I'll also be interested in seeing how much of that he uses, because Rush Jet is actually pretty cumbersome in terms of making effective and quick use of it. Essentially, just like Rush Coil, you can call it whenever you like. But most people use Rush Jet as a stepping stool. Essentially, in order to avoid having to deal with ladders, because climbing them is just so slow, we'll probably call Rush, jump up, land on him, and then jump off of Rush. It doesn't take very long at all, and it's actually cheaper than Rush Coil. But then again, Rush Coil is just definitely a lot easier. And with Cab having the advantage of having the energy balancer, he certainly won't need to worry too much about being low on ammo. Any drops he does get goes to... Okay, and 2 Blast takes out Totemer. That was the powered up version of the Chain Blast weapon, the weapon he just got from Blast. The way it... Oh no! Oh man, he lucked out. By recoiling off that wall, he actually bounced out of the pit that he fell in. So that blast weapon, you just saw him chuck out one small version of it. Essentially, it takes 4 of those launched in sequence to do a lot of damage. You actually do more than the powered up version. but the powered up version is immediate. It's just all one gigantic blast as soon as you can. VenezPrince barely making it through Blast Man. He has just a little bit of health, but he didn't die, so he's actually going to continue onwards, and he still stands a solid chance of catching up to Cab. He's only about half a level away. Alright, Cab using another one of his weapon tanks to give him back all the blast and impact. VenezPrince making his way through. Nice job with those jet jumps. Runners, by the way, are switching weapons very, very quickly by using the weapon wheel. That's one of the lovely benefits of playing Mega Man 11, is that whenever you feel like switching to a weapon, you can just use the right stick to immediately swap. Ah, I see. So he's going for... This is a slightly older blast kill, or block kill, but still very effective. It's only 2 seconds slower than the fastest. If you haven't seen this game before, or maybe you played the demo, but there's a giant golem form for Blockman, and it takes a long time. It's about as time-consuming as Impact Man's gigantic power gear phase as well. So we want to skip that, and by using the final shot, by charging your Buster with the power gear on for so long, we actually managed to finish the fight when he's around half health. Nice job, VenezPrince, switching over from Blast to Tundra to deal that extra bit of damage a little bit sooner. And Cab now in one of the most vertical stages, Bounce Man. You're going to see a lot of use of either Rush Jet or Rush Coil, because so many of these rooms are just so vertically inclined. So, he actually, you might have seen him brushing up against that wall that first time. That wall is actually so high that you barely make it with Rush Coil. In fact, the way you the only way you can make it up to that extra life is by jumping onto the very top of Rush, because you can actually bounce from like half of Rush's height. You could be like partly inside of Rush's hitbox, but you need to be absolutely as high as you can get. Otherwise, you just won't make that with a Rush Coil. Yo, rip Chelney Frog. Alright, let's see if VenezPrince can get the quick kill here as well. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Summon Rush, start charging, jumping over block. Good job. Come on. Nice! Killing him on the jump upwards. And Cab taking the lower route. Ah, yes, Cab has plenty of ammo right. Mind you, MrCab was in the Twitch Rivals event for Mega Man 11. So although he doesn't have the strongest time coming into this event, he's still a very seasoned player, I would. Interesting use of Rush Coil. That was actually pretty good. Now I'm kind of wondering what Cab will do to get through the rest of this room. He might end up doing it the intended way, because he doesn't have a whole lot of rush ammo. Yeah, he's just going to climb to the top naturally. You can actually use Rush Jet in this shaft that he's in, And you can, from about halfway up, there was a small gap. You can actually use Rush Jet to kind of trick the game into thinking you've reached. But it's pretty precise to do that. It's not the easiest thing in the world. And it requires at least 3 ammo, which if you screw it up once, you probably won't have enough ammo to do it. VenezPrince still keeping up. Nice, using Rush Jet to kind of sneak in there and skip half the room. And Cab taking out Bounce Man. Bounce Man's not a super difficult fight. 2 powered impacts and then 1 double buster are usually all you need. If you've got the spare ammo, you can certainly supplement it with just another power impact. VenezPrince kind of scaring me. This room is not fun to do without just impacting straight. Alright, and Cab is in Fuse Man stage. You're gonna see lots of lasers in the stage, but luckily, Impact actually is invulnerable to damage while you're using the... Cab using a little bit of speed gear there just to make sure he beats the laser cycle. Cab making use of the block dropper as well. The block dropper, especially in its power gear form, is very good at clearing out enemies without having to stop. VenezPrince getting slightly stuck here. He's trying to get his way to the second shell. Using a couple of power torch, power block. Cab waiting out on these laser cycles. Ooh, he tried to one cycle there between a couple of the lasers, but that's also pretty difficult. That was unfortunate, having to use the blast ammo there. He took a little bit too long killing Pakhan, so he had to switch over to sub. Nice jet jump, and he really wanted that that little bit of ammo up. Using the bounce ball to clear out some of those hazards. Bounce balls being the weakness for Fuse Man. They're going to be pretty handy at dispatching the boss as well. But there's not really a concern, unlike all the other weapons where you're usually kind of concerned about, you know, holding your ammo back. I find it very difficult to run out of bounce ammo. Alright, VenezPrince here fighting Bounce Man. That's 2, and oh, he got hit out of the... When you use power impact, so long as you're able to connect the hit, there's an explosion afterwards that deals extra damage that ignores iframe. Alright, another double shot. Fuse Man entering his speed gear phase, and from here he's just going to be firing power bounce ball. It's just a matter of time, because Fuse Man definitely can't outrun all of them. Good stuff from Cab. VenezPrince now entering the stage. Bounce Man stage is the longest stage in the game, so now we kind of have a more true idea of what the difference is between the two runs. It's about, I would say, about 2.5 minutes right now. As they are both following the same route, I would say that's about the difference between the two. Okay, Cab working through Acid Man stage. So Acid Man, we actually could have done Acid Man before doing Fuse Man. There's no benefit to which one you choose to do after Bounce Man, because we already have all the weaknesses for all the bosses. And Sage Hero is absolutely correct. There's still plenty of tension to be had here, because either runner could die at any moment Wily 1, Wily 2 especially, I know has some very time-consuming deaths. Not only would you be dying and being sent, you know, very far back, you don't have any of the weapon ammo that you spent on that life. VenezPrince having less struggles on the Fuse Man stage. He might be catching up a little bit. Don't mind me, just enjoying the music here in Acid Man stage. It's one of my favorites. There's actually some pretty solid tunes in this game. Like, it's grown on me, that's for sure. It's a lot of people have told me that you know, it's not their favorite track by far, but it's not a bad track overall. It's still got some good. Cab just got a nice big weapon drop. I heard. Ooh, that was a little scary there, but using Rush there definitely makes it a lot easier. VenezPrince making his way through the last laser room. Using the speed gear to help him beat out that first laser cycle. Cab taking the damage boost. Not exactly a fun room to mess up, considering how many spikes are there. Alright, and Cab approaching Acid Man while VenezPrince deals with Fuse is out. Power Dropper, double buster, double bust, power dropper, one more? Oh, but he missed a hit at some point, so yeah, he'll just need one more. If Cab had stepped a little bit closer on that first power block dropper, you probably would have hit him. He would have broken the shield immediately and then done some damage. But that's it. That's those are the 8 robot masters for Cab. It was like a 27 flat almost for the 8 robots. Entering Tower 1. This stage is extremely dangerous, that's for sure. There's so many pits that you could fall into, and most of the time when you take damage in this stage, it's not a matter of like, you'll take so much damage you die. No, most of the damage you take will knock you into a pit. So I don't blame Cab for taking a little bit more of his time to make sure he actually executes all these rooms properly. VenezPrince using a little bit of Scramble Thunder just so he can actually take out some enemies in the way. Scramble Thunder is not a weapon I usually see used, but it's very good. Like, none of the weapons are really bad weapons. Even though we don't use Acid Barrier in the speedrun up until the very end of the game, it's still got some usefulness to it. It can block a lot of bullets, so if you can take the time loss hit, it'll make a lot of rooms less aggravating, that's for sure. Ooh, Cab coming up just a little bit short of grabbing that that weapon drop. He really wants that. I'll assume he still has a weapon tank because you definitely want to use a lot more impact in this stage. Unless he plans on taking this next section. Nope, he does have a weapon tank. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice, he doesn't even want to deal with that guy. Okay, using Power Tundra to clear away the missile. And then he gets this kind of shortcut up the... I really like how safe and like surefire MrCab's strats are. Compared to the strats that I usually see executed, I would assume that I'd be dying. And it looks like VenezPrince actually took a death at some point. He got sent back pretty far. Dying in the latter half of Acid Siege is absolutely possible, not just because of how many spikes there are, but because like all the spikes, the jumps are tight, and then like getting sent back a million miles. So I want to see how Cab handles the rest of this fight. It's gonna have a little bit more damage left to. Oh wow, nice, he got him. Okay. So Yellow Devil, actually using Power Tundra to finish the fight. He must be really used to the fight the way that worked out. I would not at that point, because I do the fight way differently. I would not be sure that Yellow Devil would open his eye at that. You might end up having to deal with another chase sequence where Yellow Devil's globs are going to the other side of his. Alright, now VenezPrince is up to acid. Ooh, Cab got a nice big weapon drop. I'll take care of the Roomba, Gary Oles. Okay, VenezPrince taking care of acid. So he's about 4 minutes behind now. That's a pretty steep hill to try and climb back up, but he can still do this. It really depends on how Cab does the rest of his run. Either way, I'd like to see the runners just being able to finish the run cleanly. This is not an easy game, so again, I wish the best for. Ooh, Cab wanted to fire a Power Tundra, but he got a Power Bounce by mistake. Those two weapons are right next to each other on the wheel, so it's not too surprising to see that happen. Your shoutouts to Use Pizza. Alright, Cab, taking care of another chase sequence. He almost ran himself dry there of ammo, and he does still have plenty of weapon tanks, so he should have no struggles whatsoever in finishing the stage at this. Try to be extra careful. You don't want to jump up into those spikes. Although the checkpoint is right there, thankfully, you definitely don't want to explode for no reason. Okay, this is actually a fairly difficult climb here. If you fall down at all, you're probably going to. Ooh, bonking into the wall there. That's fine, though. He's basically at the end. Now, this is slightly scary on... He's got, like, 2/3 of his health left. That should be fine for Malvern. Kind of depends on what strats he goes for. But typically speaking, you'll be damage boosting a couple times here on. Alright, VenezPrince making his way past the scariest room on the first half of Tower 1. He's at the check. Alright, Cab is done with Phase 1 for Malvern. Still has to finish out the fight. Baiting the lasers away. Another double butt. He can't take any more hits at this point. Good stuff. And VenezPrince also successfully climbing at the end of Tower 1 there. Alright, Cab on his way to Wily 3. VenezPrince now dealing with Yellow Devil. Again, Yellow Devil is not a very fun fight to deal with. Same pattern as the original Yellow Devil, but the way you deal damage to him is certainly way different. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice huge chunk of health take. He's going to set up another 1, 2, 3, 4 hopefully, or he's going to start doing the powers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was interesting. Okay. But he unfortunately didn't get one of them to connect, so he didn't get as much damage as he should have out of one of those 4 chains. He has to start dodging bullets again. This can be super tricky on the other side. And Cab is dealing with boss rush. Ooh, VenezPrince should be okay. He still has enough health that he can take another bit of damage. He doesn't really need the damage boost anymore. Come on, just finish him off with the power. There we go. Yeah, you do not want to die to Yellow. Yellow Devil is like one of the worst fights to die on. Alright, let's see if Cab can take out Impact before the transformation this time. Nice. So redeeming himself a little bit over the first Impact fight. VenezPrince on Tower 2. Ooh, the Gariol gave him another, gave VenezPrince a big weapon drop. And Cab now dealing with Bounce Man. Ooh, he didn't get him with the explosion afterwards. Bounce Man just barely got away afterwards.
Perhaps you will be a challenge.
Alright, Cab versus Torchman. VenezPrince in the Sniper Joe room.
Retaliate or detonate. What's wrong? Don't be a dud.
No weapon drops. Looks like, okay, he uses Rush to get back up on the left. Cab fighting Blastman again. Just a little bit shy of killing him.
Trying to take my spotlight? I'm like a rose, frozen in ice.
Nice job, VenezPrince, dodging that shield guy. Okay, and then Cab dealing with Fuse. Now that he has his weakness, he can actually deal a lot more damage to him. Didn't manage to take him out before the Speed Gear transformation, but he still manages to kill him right afterward. And luckily, Speed Gear is only a 3-second time loss for Tundra, unlike if you were to mess that up on Impact. Alright, and now Cab only has to deal with block.
Solid job getting here. He'll drop you like a ton of bricks.
Oh no! Unfortunately, Cab had his first chain, well, his second chain of blasts detonated a little too early. So he didn't have enough time to charge up his final. He seems to be recovering just fine though, using Power Blast. Oh no! I was holding my breath there for a second. VenezPrince was a little close to the ledge, and Mauvern actually hit him with a laser shot, pushed him right into. Alright, Cab is coming up pretty close to the end of his run here. Using Speed Gear just so he can catch that first platform cycle. Alright, now he's just trying to beat these platforms so that he doesn't have to wait any longer than necessary. He might even use Speed Gear here just to make sure, yep, Speed Gear just to make sure he beats that. Alright, VenezPrince taking out Mauvern. Cab coming up in the last two fights. He's got Old Man 1 and 2. He'll probably be opening up with Power Blast, and then you need to at some point try and get a Power Acid. Acid normally doesn't deal a ton of damage, but if you have Acid Barrier and you're inside Wily's hurt box, you can actually deal a ton of damage to. You might try to jump through the window. Oh, just doing acid shots. Okay. For phase 2, though, it'll be a lot easier. You just have to take damage and then jump into Wily's hitbox, use a power ass. It'll take out about 1/4 of his HP each time. There's one. There's two. Come on. He wasn't close enough to hit him. Using the energy tank, good call. And again, not close enough to get him, but he's just using the acid shots now. Okay, he got him time. That was 40-24. Not bad. And VenezPrince having to deal with impact right now. GG's to Mr.
Give up, Wily.
Take damage and then jump into Wily's hitbox, use a power ass. It'll take out about 1/4 of his HP each time. There's one. There's two. Come on. He wasn't close enough to hit him. Using the energy tank, good call. And again, not close enough to get him, but he's just using the acid shots now. Okay, he got him time. That was 40-24. Not bad. And VenezPrince having to deal with impact right now. GG's to Mr.
Retaliate or detonate! What's wrong? Don't be a dud!
Hello?
Yo, what's up, Cap?
If there's too much echo, do we have his audio up?
Hold on, I'll have to mute his audio, yeah. Okay, that's unfortunate, but there would be so much echo on speed gaming. It wouldn't be super listenable.
Oh, because he's listening to us.
Yeah. So GG's.
Thank you.
He's finishing up boss rush right now. How do you feel about your run?
I felt... Well, it's a PB, so I'm happy about that.
Oh,
And,
congratulations.
And so now I have a PB that has the Golem in refights and impacts Power Gear phase, and I don't know how to feel about that. But I'm happy I actually put the run together at least. This is a 39 if I get those, so that's good. I knew I had that potential.
Absolutely. Yo, very, very solid. Good stuff, dude. I was like watching your strats. I was very happy seeing just like how surefire they were. They're super comfortable looking strats, and for anyone who might be intimidated into learning this game, you don't have to go for like the most insane balls to the wall kinds of strats when you're starting out. You have very close to sub 40, and you can definitely sub 40 with these strats.
Oh yeah, I mean easily. What is it, like 20 seconds each on the Golem and Power Gear impact? This should be a mid 39. That, and you know, I'm gonna call out Sage Hero here, who said as I'm going into Wily 1, 2.5 minutes is like nothing in this game. All it takes is a good death in Wily 1. So now I have that on my mind the whole stage.
That's true.
Come on, man.
Well, definitely, like you said, you lost 40 seconds because of the 2 transformations, and those were very small mistakes. So that's like how punishing this game can be. But at the same time, you know, those are things that you can iron out, like, you know, like any speed game. You grind it out, you practice, and this is a race setting, so it's not something that you can just like, oh, you know, mistake happen, reset. So power to you for finishing such a solid run.
Thanks. Yeah, I just, you know, when I actually like have a little more time to like really focus on 11, I really want to start pushing this, because, you know, this definitely is that the mid 39, which now just has me thinking, okay, so what do I add next to get down to 38? Because realistically, like, some of best has dropped like 15 seconds today.
That's awesome.
It's still a minute below PB, although now it's exactly a minute below PB. So yeah, it's just okay. What's the next thing to kind of like work into this like mess of comfy strats, make it a little less comfy, but save a little more time.
This is where you can start, kicking off the training wheels. But at the same time, it's nice to know that you can start from an easier spot and then work the harder strats in one by one, rather than try and tackle them all at the same time.
Oh yeah, what is it like? There was an old tweet out there, the lack attack type runner or the Millennium type runner. Are you the person who's gonna like kind of do this, work your way up towards having a great time, or are you the person who's gonna sit down and like grind every single stage with the strat?
Yeah, I definitely know runners like that. Runners like that every speed.
But yeah, I mean, like, certainly also, if you just want a decent Mega Man 11 time, you want to be able to, like, be in a race with some friends, maybe you're, like, planning on doing some sort of big marathon 1 through 11 thing, yeah, you do this.
All right,
I think I see Wily on screen.
Yeah.
He's way into this already.
Wily 1's down on my screen. Heading into Wily 2. Wily 2 and Wily 1, not fights that are like super stressful, but messing them up is like a terrible.
There are like a lot of like little things against the Wily capsule. Like the machine is a pain, but like I think there's like 3 or 4 things that you can use on the capsule to do a decent amount of damage. So even if you're like me and Venez here and you just can't hit with the acid shield. Oh,
I mean, some days I can't hit. Wily,
nice.
He just does as he pleases.
Yeah, bombs do damage. I think a lot of people the first time through found out that Fuse does, I think, like 2 or 3 damage every hit, and that's really good for the last phase. Blizzard does a point of damage.
But
Blizzard,
sometimes
Tundra.
That's all you need.
Well, yeah, in that last phase, it's like, well, what am I going to hit him with? I got to do... Oh, yeah, this. Oh, thanks for calling the race.
Of course. Trying to see if VenezPrince is going to make it in here. And I'll also take a quick look over at Speed Gaming Sketch. Congratulations, by the way, on surviving.
Thanks. Well, for how long?
Yeah, this tournament's not going to get any easier, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. My reward is I get the 5 seed.
Yeah, you're up against Igor. I did that to you.
Oh, so this is your fault.
Enjoy.
I will.
Yo, give him a hard time.
Me.
I had to bully him for a while. He's if you don't know Igor was also in Twitch Rivals, and he's currently, I think he still has the world record for Claire A on Resident Evil 2 Remake. He is a very good player, but he's definitely been focusing on that, so you might be able to sneak up on Igor.
Ooh. He's got a 35-37 on the leaderboard, so I've got to find more than that 38, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Venez.
GG.
GG, Mr. Cab.
Thank you for the race.
Thank you, and thank you, Mumu, for commentating again.
No problem. Always a pleasure.
And congrats on your PB, Mr. Cab.
Oh, thanks.
I was just 6 seconds short from a PB.
Oh no! Salty run back right now.
Yeah,
my
right?
first practice run today was less than a second over PB.
Oh, yeah, no, I got a few golds, so my sum of best at least dropped down. So I'm happy with that.
Nice.
So, you had a death at the end of Tundra, which those are always... I hate dying at the end of Tundra. That's one of the worst.
Oh, and I knew, and like, if I go for the E-Tank, there's a good chance I'm not gonna make the jump for some reason. There's like an input delay or something there sometimes I notice.
Yeah,
or maybe I just bump my head on the roof of the ice platform, I don't know.
I feel you on that, because like the PC sometimes has like a little bit of lag dips or spikes, depending on how powerful your rig is. It's like, You kind of get some more consistency playing on PlayStation or Switch, but PC is just so much easier to stream off of.
Yeah, I'm playing the Switch version, but yeah, like I get like a 50-50 chance of making that jump. But I knew it going in, and like if I go for it, there's a good chance I'm gonna die, so don't fret over that.
Having the strength to keep finishing, you know, a run after that, though, good stuff, because like that's a huge morale. You actually weren't that far behind. I would say that the most difference you had afterwards was what happened to you in Acid.
In Acid? Oh, frig. It was when I used the Rush jet for the spikes part, but I didn't land on Rush. I actually landed on one of the rotating platforms, and just like based on muscle memory, I jumped right away and jumped right into the spike.
No bueno.
Darn muscle memory.
All right. Well, I'm taking a quick look at the schedule now. So our next Mega Man 11 80% tournament match is Friday at 11 p.m. You'll see Sage Hero versus Reeves. That actually promises to be a super exciting.
Remember, Sage Hero, 2.5 minutes is nothing in this game.
Oh, that's gonna be a really good race to watch.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're both awesome. Watch that race.
I definitely will be.
Taking a look at Speed Gaming's schedule, they still have Link to the Past on Speed Gaming 5, then Zelda 1 and actually there's 2 different Zelda 1 randomizers happening on Speed Gaming 2 and 3, and then Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer happening right now on a Speed Gaming channel of some sort. It doesn't say on the schedule, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. Don't forget to drop both of these runners a follow.
Follow us. Follow Mumu here.
Yo, thank you.
Definitely follow Mumu.
And
follow Speed Gaming.
Definitely follow Speed Gaming. Thank you Speed Gaming for having the tournament here. And
so, I'm seeing that the race that's up next for Zelda 1 is actually Fred and Eat My Steel. I'm pretty sure this is the All Boards No Swords tournament for randomizer. So it's a swordless tournament. And you know, you've got the creator here in Fred playing this. So you know, be kind of nice and like thank him for making this great randomizer, and then scream at him for making such a watch this. It's Zelda 1 randomizer is great.
I'll agree to that.
All right. That'll wrap things up for me. I've got nothing left to say, but
yeah, just once again, I just want to say thank you, Mumu, for commentating. Thank you, Speed Gaming, for hosting this tournament. And thank you, MrCab, for the race.
Thank you, too. And everything you said. Thank everybody. Thanks to the tech folks behind the scenes as well.
Oh, yes.
Always thank tech.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you, the viewers.
All right. Have a good night.
You as well. Good night.
Good night.